Shri Matre Namaha, Shri Ramaraksha, Sarva Jagat Raksha. Before getting into the topic, please like, share and subscribe to Asana so you motivate us in bringing out the sacred content to you all. In my previous video where I've talked about the pre-Kundalini awakening stage, if you did not listen to that, go listen to that, because in that one I've clearly explained everything about the pre-Kundalini awakening stage, and also in that one only I've told that I'm going to explain about the diagram which I've drawn. Now it's the time to explain about the diagram. So before I move any further, please like, share and subscribe to our channel so you motivate us in bringing out the sacred content to you all. Here I have drawn the three diagrams, three snakes, okay? So these three snakes which I have drawn, I'm going to explain about this. Okay, in my previous Kundalini awakening stage video, I've talked about the Kundalini ascent, Kundalini awakening, where everybody will explain, most people, not everybody, yeah, most people who are there in the Kundalini awakening journey in their lifetimes, most of them on the planet, they will mostly go through this Kundalini awakening, the ascent phase, which I have named it as AROHANA. So I have named it as AROHANA for our own convenience so that we can understand it betterly. So now this Kundalini Arohana. So first let me explain what this Arohana means. Arohana means ascent. Kundalini from the base Muladhara spine. From there, Kundalini is moving upwards and it is reaching towards the Sahasrara, the crown chakra. So this process of Kundalini moving from the root chakra to the Sahasrara chakra through the central Sushumna channel is called as Kundalini ascent or Arohana. So this is what is called as the individual Kundalini. We have the why I've drawn the three Kundalinis, you'll know just after a few minutes. So every individual is carrying a small ansh of a divine energy within them. So this small ansh of the divine energy within them, which is their own energy, it's not different, it is not some other energy, it's their own individual energy, which is the divine version of that individual energy, which is the divine ansh. It's like whenever Kundalini awakening happens or Kundalini awakens, it's like your divine ansh, your own divineness is activating or awakening. So it's your own divine energy. It's not something different. It's not something which is big or which is not ultimate. It's not that. It's your own energy. It's your own Kundalini energy. It's your own Kundalini. It's you in a divine form. It's your own divine blueprint, you can say like that. So now when this Kundalini awakening happens, which I've talked about, which is called as Arohana, most of them have written books about it. Most of them go through this process. Okay, most of them after 2020 they have experienced this process, they have understood this process, they are talking about this process. So this Kundalini ascension journey is happening at a major level. Before it was like only some people used to happen. Yeah, the Kundalini ascension journey, by the way, happens in for long times, for many lifetimes, for many generations together, or it's like maybe the quantity or the of the people are less. Like the quantity of the people are less. There used to be only some people who used to talk about it, or it used to be from the Guru Shishya Parampara, or it used to be from the people, they just transfer the knowledge from the Guru to the disciple. All these things used to happen in the previous generations, but now we are in a different generation where we talk in the public, through a public platform, and we share this knowledge through a public platform or social media. All these things now happen, right? So before, this knowledge was there, this experiences also used to be there, but people, they did not used to talk much about these experiences. It used to be like a little bit secretive, or it used to be only they used to get the information from even during olden days also. This information and this knowledge was there, but it was more hidden, it was more secretive, and it used to be happen with only less number of people. But because the consciousness of Earth is rising, because our planet's own consciousness is now raising its frequency and vibration, there are so many people now awakening. They are going through awakening journeys, they are going through the Kundalini awakening journeys, they are into the Kundalini ascension journey. So now people are talking more about this because they are experiencing it, because majority of the people are now experiencing it, and now they're going through this. They need this kind of knowledge, this kind of information, because during my own awakening, journey during in my own case, when in like some 5 years back in 2020, the or 2021, the knowledge about it was very much limited, and I used to struggle a lot to understand this process, to understand this concept, and to understand this knowledge. It used to be very, very difficult, and it was a very like a struggling time period. It was the knowledge and information about it was not that much available, and I used to search like anything about it, and I used to try to understand it by various means and sources, and it was so difficult. It was so much of hard work went into this process of understanding this, because there was a no proper knowledge which was given about this process in at least now. In even in the 5 years back, if the condition was like that, you can imagine how like 10 years back how the condition used to be. It used to be more struggling, right? So these processes, they used to happen in like guru shishya parampara, or in some traditional schools or spiritual schools. It used to happen, but the common people, they don't know about it, and because of that, because of all these consequences, if the common people, if they undergo the Kundalini awakening journey, then it will be very much difficult for them, because the knowledge about it or the information about it is not available for them readily, and they struggle in this process somehow. So even 5 years back, the knowledge was there, people were making videos, the YouTube videos were there, but it was somehow, it was not that much available as it is available now. 5 years back, moving forward, now the knowledge about it, the information about it is much more. Now I think in my own journey, I've seen the more my consciousness rises, the more I attract the things which are necessary for me. Even maybe the knowledge which was given some centuries back, or even maybe the knowledge is given some generations back, but then I attract maybe the right kind of knowledge, because maybe my consciousness has now evolved. During that time, my consciousness also was not that much. I was also not understanding what was happening with me. I was not also familiar with what was happening with me. So I was not getting the right answer for the right question. So as our consciousness increases, the more and more we evolve, the more and more all the right answers will fall into our lap for the questions which we have asked 5 years back or some 4 years back, like that. So the more and more you evolve, the more and more whatever questions you have in your own journey. Maybe I had some questions 5 years back. I didn't know the answer about that. I didn't know things about the Kundalini journey back then. But then the more I evolve, the more I understand about my own process, and then I'm able to communicate and share that process with you all also, so that it can benefit others also, so that your journey must not be that hard compared to my own journey. So that's why it's like a things which we are sharing out for our own, like our benefit of beings, okay, of each other. So whatever you are resonating with this content, or whatever experiences you also had in this journey, you can share it in the comment section below, so that it can also help some other people if they read the comments, or if they want to know something else, if they are also finding some answers for some questions. Maybe your comment is the answer for their questions, who knows, right? So you feel free to comment in the comment section below what all things which you have experienced in your own journey. And if you want to say more about anything about the Kundalini journey, or if you want to add anything, you are very free to add in the comment section below, right? So now this Kundalini ascent process is called as Arohana. So this Kundalini ascent process, I have finished the Kundalini ascent process. I have completed my Kundalini Arohana journey. Congratulations to me. After a lot of hard work, after a lot of struggles and that, I made so many videos about Kundalini now. You can go check it out. And also, if you want to know anything more about the Kundalini, or if you have a particular question or a particular query, you can ask in the comment section below. If I feel that I have to make video on that topic or concept, I'll make the video on that topic or concept based on my own experience and knowledge which I have. Okay, so now this process of the ascent, this process of the Arohana, what will happen in this process? It is the process where with your own individual ascent, with your own individual efforts, you will raise your consciousness. It's not like it's not a divine grace. Yes, there is a divine grace, because to undergo this process also, you need a divine grace and divine blessings, without which it will not happen. So any type of awakening needs a certain amount of grace, certain amount of blessings, your purva janma karmas and punya phalas and all these things added on, your spiritual evolution from your past lives, all these things are there, without which your awakening won't happen. you need all those things for your awakening to get triggered. So your awakening will also get triggered during a particular point of time, during the particular point of things in your life or situations or phases in your life. You can awaken smoothly if there are some people who are who are very much into spirituality, or they have like a very much of a spiritual family or traditional family or cultural family, where they have been already thought about this kind of a knowledge or information, or they are already been prepared about these kind of things from the younger generations, or from the younger age. Their journey will be, I think, maybe much more smoother compared to the journey of us. Our journey of the Kundalini awakening is like a dhamakedar journey. It's like a bomb blast kind of a journey. It's like very much of a dangerous kind of a journey, where maybe most of you who are listening to this, they don't have any kind of a prior information, or they don't have any kind of a prior preparation or prior practices, spiritual practices about the Kundalini awakening, and they just awaken due to so many things in their life. Maybe due to some kind of a soul shock, maybe due to some kind of a things which are maybe some kind of a depression or clinical depression, or they may be some kind of a health issue, or maybe some kind of a paranormal experiences, something like that, or maybe some kind of a heartbreak, etc, etc, etc. They can be anything. They can be the reason can be anything, but ultimately, because that reason did hit you very badly, that now your Kundalini is awakened, right? So the hitting of that thing was so bad and so harsh and so apologetic, and it was not smooth. It did hit you so hard that now you are awakened. So now this awakening process got triggered within you. So now this process got triggered within you, and it's your own individual consciousness, it's your own individual Kundalini energy which is rising. It's your own Kundalini Shakti which is rising. Now this Kundalini Shakti, in order to rise, I told you before that you need certain amount of grace, or your past life accumulation of the righteous things, or the past accumulation of all the punya karmas which you have done before, all these things, etc. It need all those things, okay, in order to for this to get triggered. So when this get triggered, I have made so many videos about what all happened during the Kundalini journey, what all phases are there: dark night of soul phase, and etc, cleansing phase, and healing phase, so many other phases. You can check out all those videos, okay? So all those phases, all those things which will happen in the journey will happen, okay? All those things which I already talked about, I'm not going to repeat all those things. Now in this journey, this is like a permanent change of your beingness. I can say permanent change of your beingness. So when this thing got triggered, when your prana Kundalini gets triggered, it's like a permanent thing, permanent change. There's no looking back, there's no turning back. Even if you want to shout, even if you want to cry, even if you want to open the door and run away from it, you cannot. It's like a permanent thing which is happening within you. It's a permanence, okay? It is not temporary, it is a permanence. It is like a permanent stage. So when this happens, there's no looking back, there's no escaping, there's no running away. You have to face it, you have to experience it, you have to go through this process. There is no other way. So in order to go through this process, in order to make this process a little less harsh, there are so many teachers, or so many guides, or so many other people who already experience these things, and they share these things, so that actually the divine in the form of them is helping you in order to deliver the message, or in order to give you the information, whatever the information which you need. For example, your own divine consciousness is trying to connect with the ultimate divine consciousness, and that ultimate divine consciousness is sending somebody some YouTube videos, some channel, some book, or some information which will act like a messenger, or which will act like a wisdom for you, so that you understand this process better, so that you don't panic in this journey. Your journey will be a little bit more smoother compared to how it will be without the knowledge, or without the tools or techniques which you get. So if you get the tools and techniques, and if you understand it more and more, your way of handling this journey will be, your way of handling yourself will be much more better. Because however Kundalini is anyway going to do its work, you don't have to be the roadblocker in Kundalini's journey. Kundalini will do its work anyway, but you have to accumulate and adjust your own self according to what Kundalini is, according to what your journey is. So that is the difficult part. So difficult part is not the workings of the Kundalini. Difficult part is you, yourself. Difficult part is you are your own difficulty, because you are unable to cope up with it, you are unable to adjust with your own new version. You will face certain kind of problems in this journey. So in order to overcome these kind of problems, in order to overcome these kind of difficulties, you can take the help of, there are so many teachers available right in this present time period. You can take the help of all those teachers. You can take the help of the information and the knowledge which you are gaining from these kind of videos or channels, etc. You have like a lot of knowledge nowadays available everywhere. So you can utilize that knowledge, and you can implement it or understand your own self through all the things, experiences or knowledge which other people are giving you. So now this prana kundalini, when it awakens, it cleanses everything which is there in your system. So be it your physical system, emotional system, mental system, or your astral system, we have like five elements. I have made video about the 5 elements and the shuddhi of the 5 elements, how your aura is, how you can work on your aura, how you can do your aura cleansing with the help of the 5 elements. If you did not listen to those videos, go listen to that, because it will be very much helpful for you. So when Kundalini rises, your own prana Kundalini rises, she is very eager to reach to the Sahasrara. She wants to reach to the Sahasrara energy. She wants to reach that Shiva energy. She wants to merge with the Sahasrara. Now, your own individual Kundalini is like a divine mother. She is the Shakti. Why? Because always in our stories also, when we take, there is only 2 things in the universe. One is Purusha and other is Prakriti. So the Purusha aspect of the thing is the Shiva Tattva. It's not some masculine which is sitting in the Sahasrara and some feminine who is running towards the man and she's hugging him, like how it happens in the movies. Yes, it does happens like that, but also it's mostly, I understand it in the form of tattvas, because it's more easier for me to understand, or in the form of energies. When you think it in terms of Shiva and Shakti, you gave it a masculine form, it is a feminine form. You will be limited to only certain extent only. If you want to be limitless, then think in terms of tattvas and energies, then it will be much more, or in terms of consciousness or the kind of a frequency, masculine frequency or feminine energy or masculine energy. Understand it in terms of energies or the tattvas. It will be much more, you will be breaking your own limits. That's, if you understand in this way, then you will go beyond your limits. So it will be much more always convenient for you to understand in this way. So that's why I always teach, or I always tell it in this way only. So this is not some masculine who is sitting over there. Yeah, it's masculine sitting over there according to stories and mythologies, according to for you to make it more easier, or for you to understand it much betterly. We always, in our scriptures or the teachers who came before, they always say it as Shakti is uniting with the Shiva and the Sahasrara and all these things, because they want to simplify it. They want to help you understand it with the help of stories, with the help of concepts, with the help of some masculine and feminine love story. But it's the tattvas, basically. It's the Shiva tattva, it's the consciousness. So when the Kundalini, there is, I told you before that there is one Prakriti and there is one Purusha. So this Purusha is, Prakriti is everything which you can see around you. All the human beings are Prakriti only. You can be even a man, but then you are also a Prakriti, because you are the creation of Prakriti. Everybody is made up of Panchabhutas only. Everybody is a manifestation of that Panchabhuta only. Everybody is manifestation of that Prakriti only. So this Prakriti aspect, we called it this Prakriti aspect as a Shakti only. So everybody, irrespective if you are a man or if you are a woman, if you are a girl, if you are a boy, you are also a Prakriti. Everything you can see around you is Prakriti itself, it's nature itself. So everything what you can see around you is Prakriti, it's Shakti. So without Shakti, Shiva is Shava, right? So you all are Shaktis only. You are not like, even if you are a man, you are Shakti only. You are Shakti who is appearing as a man, but you are also a Shakti. Okay, so you are a Prakriti who is trying to unite with that Purusha. So that ultimate Purusha is what? That ultimate Purusha is the consciousness. So always and always, the the prakriti, the elements of you, or the bodies of you, or the individual shakti of you always tries to unite with the consciousness. It's like the union and culmination of the shakti, the energy with the consciousness. Energy is always in the movements. It's always acts in the moment, and consciousness is always still. So who is still always? In the stories and mythologies, we all know that Shiva is like still is sitting in one place, and Parvati is the one who is always taking some forms and different forms, and she's playing, she's doing drama, she is involving and engaging, and she's creating drama, she's creating different types of stories, she's creating different forms, she's creating different avatars, all these things, all this divine leela of Lalita is going on, right? So these divine leela always goes on. It's like the Shakti who is always in the movement, and Shiva, the consciousness, it's always still. So what is happening is the Purusha is always still, and the Prakriti is ever moving. She is dancing, she's moving, and she's moving around that one point, one centered point, or that one centered stillness. So you can understand it in the form of a Radha Krishna also. Krishna is like a one point, and the Radha is, or the Gopikas are like they're dancing and they're moving around Krishna, and they are like they ultimately want to unite with the Krishna. They want to create that union with the Krishna, right? So this is like the Prakriti who wants to unite with the Purusha. It's like Krishna or the Vishnu is the ultimate Purusha, and everybody else around, all the humanity is his Gopikas, or all the humanity is his Prakriti, or all his humanity is Shakti. So all the humanity is his Radha, and all the Radhas are just want to go and they want to unite with the ultimate Krishna or the Mahavishnus, or all the humanity is the Lakshmi, or they just want to unite with the ultimate Mahavishnu. It's like that. So this is the stillness. This is the stillness point of the consciousness, which is there in your head, which is there in your brain, which is there in your sahasrara. So when this energy it rises and it cleanses everything in your system. I've told you it has so many layers, which there's so much of work which she have to do. So in this ascension process, in this ascent process, you have to do a lot of work. So what all work Kundalini is doing, and also you are also cooperating with the Kundalini by doing your inner work, shadow work, or mirror work, all these works, okay, whatever there which are there, inner work, shadow work, mirror work, whatever which is there is you are synchronizing with the Kundalini energy, and you are working together in sync with the Kundalini energy, so that whatever she is bringing out to the surface, and you are just trying to cleanse and heal and remove that thing, so that you are removing one roadblock, so that she can move a little more further up. Okay, she always wants to move up, as I told you, right? So she wants to move. In order to move, whatever is being an obstacle, has an obstacle, acting like an obstacle in that movement process, she will remove all that things, be it whatever which is there in your 3D, whatever which is there in your system, whatever which is there in your energy body, whatever which is there in your astral body, whatever which is what are imprints which are there in your past lives. It doesn't matter, your past life karmas, etc, etc, etc. All these things are like obstacles or roadblocks which are stopping the Kundalini from moving upwards. So whatever the roadblocks are there, one by one, day by day, month by month, year by year, she will try to release all these things, and she will cleanse you, purify you, she will do Shuddhikaran to you, and then she will slowly try to help you get into your own better version. Again, more and more the Kundalini moves, the more and more you will be in your own better versions. You will go through so many death and rebirth cycles, so many times you will die in this process, and so many times you will be in rebirth. You will have a new birth in this process, and this process will go on until a point where it reaches and where it cleanses itself enough, when your own Kundalini energy purifies you enough, Shuddhikarans you so much enough that now it is ready to meet with the ultimate Shiva, the consciousness of the Vishnu, or the stillness, or the Paramatma, or the Purusha. Now the Prakriti is meeting the Purusha, and she's creating the union. And to reach to this place, it's not like she's doing all these things and she's only rising once. No, she will rise again and again, again and again. She will move up again and again. The more you are ascending, she is piercing another layer. The more you are experiencing this process, you're witnessing this process of the Kundalini moving up and reaching to the Sahasrara, the more you are peeling another layer, another layer, another layer. This process happens many times, not just once. This process happens so many times in your own journey that now you will reach to a certain point, certain place, or certain accretion level, or certain DNA activations, that now it is like there is one final showdown, there is one final ultimate Maha Union will happen within you. When that Maha Union will happen within you, then you can consider that now the ascent phase of awakening or the Arohana phase of Kundalini awakening will be over. Okay, this is the process of Kundalini Arohana. So next I will talk about so this is the first Kundalini which I have drawn in these 3 Kundalinis. So in these 3 Kundalinis, the lower, the Kundalini which is in the downwards and which I have named as Prana Kundalini. So this is the journey of the Prana Kundalini. This is the story of the Prana Kundalini which I have told you till now. So this is the journey of the Prana Kundalini. So next what will happen is, when that Maha Union will happen, the union in your head, union of your consciousness, the union of the masculine and the feminine which will happen within you. I have made one video on the divine union. Go watch that, listen to that video also. It will be very helpful for you. When that happens within you, when unions, all kinds of unions which will happen within you, okay, within you. So when this unions happens, then there'll also be a point where now the union is there, right? Now the union is there. Now she's reaching to the Shiva or the Purusha, the consciousness, and she's reaching to the, she is like a, Shiva is now, the Purusha is now congratulating the Prakriti. Well done, you have finally reached to home, right? Like that. So finally you are home, like that. And he's like very, very happy seeing her Prakriti and he's seeing her Parvati, and he's very happy. Now they both, they are together. They celebrate this moment, and it's like a bliss phase which we'll experience in this union process. And when that bliss phase will be there, and then both of them, now it's like same story of how Ma Parvati, she will do so much of tapasya for Shiv, and then one fine day she will level up her so much that now she will finally become like a goddess kind of a thing, and then they will unite, they will go through the union process, and then there will be so many testers in that process also, where Parvati will be tested so much and so badly, and then she will cross all those tests and she will finally pass all those tests, and then she will be ready to like fully embrace her goddess version, and then she will unite with the Shiva, and now she will enter into her grihastha life where she is now united with the Shiva, and now both of them are ready to come down. Now what I mean by coming down, now both of them are ready to do their purpose. Both of them are ready to be and live as a divine couple who are inseparable, who are already united. Now the masculine and feminine energies are united within you. Now these united masculine and feminine energies, both of them combined masculine and feminine, united version of the masculine and feminine energies, they come down. And when they come down, when the descent happens, this descent of grace happens, then that is called as Avarohana. I've named it myself, and if you can't find these words anywhere in any books, because I don't read so much books, I talk based on my own experience. So when this process happens, this is called as Avarohana. Before I talked about Arohana. Arohana is the entire process and entire story which I've explained, where Goddess Parvati is doing a lot of hard work, and then after the hard work, she will get a result, very good and happy result. And that happy result, where she's now united, and now they are living together, inseparable, and always in union, permanently in union. And now they are for each other, and now they love so much each other, and they are now married. Okay, they are married together, and they're living together. They started living together, and now they roam around everywhere together, like how newly married couple will be. They'll be married, and then they'll be together always. They'll go everywhere together, all like that. So now they are going down together, and that going down together is called as Avarohana, which I've termed myself. And then when this Avarohana process is called as a descent of grace. This descent of grace is what is called as Kundalini descent. So most people, they always go through, mostly so many people, they go through the Arohana process, the Prana Kundalini process, but rarely there are also some people who also go through this avaharana process. They also go through the descent process, but compared to what people go through, most people, they always go through the prana kundalini process only, and to finish that process only, they take so many lifetimes. Okay, and that process, maybe most people, they won't reach to finish towards the finish line, etc., etc. They don't finish that process, or they didn't, mostly most people don't enter into the avarona process. So that's why it's very less talked about. It's very rare concept, and it's very rare topic, because it's not talked about, because most people did not experience that process. Before experiencing that process only, like their lifetime will be over, or they'll continue in the next lifetime, etc., etc. But there'll be only very rare people. Some people, they also go through this avarana process. That's why mostly information and knowledge about the kundalini ascension process is only about the kundalini ascent. But it's not only about the kundalini ascent, it's also about the kundalini descent. Now there is also a kundalini descent phase, which will happen only when you complete the kundalini ascension process, kundalini ascent process, or kundalini arohana process. When you finish the kundalini arohana process, then only you will be able to experience the kundalini avarona process, without which it's not possible. So when kundalini avarona process happens, it is like a descent of grace, descent of the divine energy, descent of the consciousness, so embodiment of that consciousness into being. So now you will be like, you will embody that whatever which has happened to you, whatever teachings which are Kundalini taught you, whatever the things, whatever permanent changes which you have gone through, now you will live through that permanency. You will live as that embodied being. That embodiment, that living as an embodied being is nothing but the avarona process. Now you will start to live as an awakened individual. Now you'll start to live as somebody who is already awakened, somebody who has completed the process, somebody who is living that process, who is embodying that process, who is experiencing that process even in the midst of the normalcy. So that embodiment process will happen in the avarona process, which is the consciousness when the Shakti is uniting with the consciousness, and now the consciousness is descending into the body as an embodied individual. So now you are an embodied being, an embodied individual. That embodied individualness is called as avarohana. That embodied individualness is what is consciousness speaking through me, or the consciousness living through me, or the consciousness, or me as an embodied being of that consciousness, that ultimate consciousness. It's like that. So most people who go through this process of avarona, they live as that embodied version of that consciousness, of that supreme consciousness, which we can say. So this is the descent process, which is called as avarona. So now after this process, there'll also be a process, there will also be some experiences which is called as the para kundalini. So the second kundalini which I've talked about, which is the Arohana kundalini, is called as the Shiva Tattva, the consciousness which I was explaining to you. So that's why I've labeled it as Shiva or Shiva Shakti kundalini. Why I've named it as Shiva Shakti kundalini is because now this is that union. They both are united, already united. The masculine and feminine are united. They're not two, they are one now. They are one. They are operating as one. That's why I've named it as Shiva kundalini or Shiva Shakti kundalini. Why I've named it as Shiva kundalini? Because the Shiva is like ultimate consciousness, that supreme being whom the Shakti always tries to reach in every lifetime, like that. So that supreme ultimate God consciousness is what is called as Shiva consciousness or Shiva Tattva, and the other slash Shiva Shakti consciousness is because now I want to tell you that I want to help you understand that this is like a combined version of the masculine and feminine energy, or the God consciousness. Now this God consciousness, or the combined form of the masculine and feminine energies which are integrating within you, which are embodying within you, is called as avarohana. So now after this process, what will happen is there is also another version, other kundalini form, which is called as para kundalini. Now this para kundalini is ultimate kundalini, which is the ultimate adiparashakti. Now adiparashakti in her kundalini form is called as para kundalini, and the para kundalini is the we have like a miniature version of that para kundalini, which is called as prana kundalini. So now the ultimate version of the prana kundalini is like all the individual kundalini combined to one ultimate source, or one ultimate godhead, or one ultimate the creator. It is the para kundalini. That para kundalini is like a very big, huge, and sometimes you also receive the energy and the descent of grace from the para kundalini. So it took me many years to understand the prana kundalini only. So I've talked about the prana kundalini in detail. I have so many videos about the prana kundalini in detail. So I recently like a final conclusion to prana kundalini happened to me, and then there is more to learn about this, because now as I'm moving forward in my own journey, I'm taking you also along with me in my and sharing with all this information to you all. So if you have any kind of experience about this, or if you have any kind of experience about the kundalini descent, or the consciousness which is embodying into being or something like that, or if you have any knowledge about the or sources or resources about the para kundalini, you can share it in the comment section below, so that it will be helpful for us all. Okay, I'll be glad to take help from you. I will be glad to listen to your own opinions also, your own experiences also, because this subject and this concept is very rarely spoken about. So I hope this helps you in some or the other way. It's not just one kundalini we have three different types of kundalinis. Okay, so there are so many experiences which you will go through in your own journey, but these experiences, the information about the descent or the Shiva Kundalini, or the descent of the consciousness, and also about the Para Kundalini is like a very rare. Only some very highly supreme enlightened masters, only they taught this knowledge to their own some disciples, and this knowledge is like a very limited, and it's like very rare. So I'm trying to understand it myself, and if you know anything about it, you are free to tell me about it. And also whatever I understand it in my own journey, I'll make sure that I'll help you in understanding it by sharing the knowledge whatever I get in my further videos. So this was all about the 3 different types of kundalinis. So thank you so much for tuning in. Sri Rama Raksha Sarva Jagat Raksha. Sri Mata Namaha.